Entertainment.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of the Hey Hannah Podcast. I am Maya, your host, and I am so excited to have you here. If this is your first time joining us, just to give you a little bit of background about the show, Hannah, no, that's not my name. Hannah is my daughter, and the show is created and dedicated to her just to honor her memory. She passed away last year, and the premise of the show is we have conversations on the platform that I thought I would have had the opportunity to have with her as a parent. So you all still get to have the benefits of that and become educated by all these wonderful individuals that we have on the platform. So again, thank you for for joining us again tonight. So, tonight we have a very special guest. Lorraine is joining us all the way from Australia. She's a business owner, an author, international educator, a musician who plays a ton of instruments. Clearly, you can see she's just pretty exceptional. So, we are definitely honored to have her here tonight so we can learn from her. I am going to hand it over to Lorraine so she can tell us a little bit more about her, and she's also going to speak on a very important topic tonight. So let's chat with her a little bit, get to know who she is, and then we'll go into our topic. Lorraine?
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me on this podcast. So I'm really, really happy to be here and happy to share. In a nutshell, you covered everything. I've done a lot of teaching in my lifetime. But the thing was, I could never see myself like I could never imagine myself as being the person I am today. Back in the day, I used to be an absolute introvert where I would not say a word. I refused to play expressive techniques in music because I was just so afraid of what people might think. And I didn't, but the thing is, I saw myself as a person that has the potential of doing a lot more. So in my late 20s, or rather in my middle 20s, while I was still in university, I just decided or made that decision where I was going to change all that. So I
Yeah,
studied how people speak. I tried to go beyond that fear of communicating and the fear of being seen, so to say. So you would, if you knew me back in the day, you would not have ever imagined of me being here speaking to you right now. So been a life, transformation that I have to go through, but it was a journey that was worth taking for me to be able to help people and share.
absolutely. That I definitely can relate to that. I have come a long way. I still feel like I have a long way to go, so maybe you can share some tips with me on that. But definitely just feeling introverted, and I really connected with when you said, getting comfortable with being seen, because in a lot of cases I was just afraid to take up space. Like if I had questions, I didn't want to raise my hand. I didn't, want to be the one that's um, just taking up space for whatever reason. So I definitely can relate to that. And I know a lot of other introverts who are exceptionally talented, but because of just, whatever it is that's holding them in, the rest of the world is not able to get all of that awesomeness that they have bottled up inside. So I know this is something that you have been able to do greatly, overcome being an introvert and really just be able to put yourself out there and share your gift with others. So, can you tell us more about that? How you came about deciding that this is something that I need to do, and what did you do to really overcome this? Because we all need the answers.
So for myself, like everyone's fear of being seen is different. So for myself, my mom's a musician, so performing was always there. The thing was,
Mhm.
performance was never part of me. I mean, I used to be so scared that I would shake, even playing the piano. I could feel my legs tapping on the pedal dramatically, and but I wanted to change that because it was a very uncomfortable feeling which I hated. So it
Yeah.
was me learning, I would go to churches, to speakers, and see how they would gain the attention of the audience. I would see how people or how musicians or how entertainers work around their fear, because everyone's going to have some sort of level of fear in themselves. So it was me
Absolutely.
studying people, trying. But the thing is, even though I've performed all my life, I still have stage fright. The way that I work through it is more of taking a deep breath and stepping forward, because then there's no turning back. So, back in the day, like yourself, I want to ask a question. It took a lot of energy. Like, it took a
Yeah.
lot of convincing, going, Lorraine, just put your hand up, ask that damn question. you know. And then by the time I finally want to put my hand up, it's like, oh, sorry, it's the end of our session. So I'm like, just do it, and then
Yeah.
just go for it, because once you step forward, there's nothing that's gonna take you back. You have to do it.
Absolutely. That's some good points. It kind of reminds me, just anyone who's out there who's listening and feels like, yes, I can definitely relate to that. One of the things that kind of came to me as an aha moment is, we all have these special gifts and talents, and there's other people who are waiting on the other side to experience your gift, to make themselves better, to get to where they need to be. And if I'm hung up on being so much of an introvert that I'm not putting that out there, the other person's missing out too, because now my gift's just stuck inside of me, and that's not where it's supposed to be forever. So hopefully that's just a little tidbit to help with mindset when you're thinking about, "Oh, I just want to push myself out there a little more." It's a great way to think about how you can help so many other people, for sure. So you were able to take a look at other individuals and see what they were doing and implementing those techniques. How did you get into, okay, I'm overcoming being an introvert, but then now I'm putting on all these other different hats, from international educator, author. I know you have a coaching program. Can you talk to us about those different hats that you wear, and how did you come up with, this is where I want to be?
So I never wanted to be an educator, mind you. I did not know what I wanted to be. I think a lot of people were on that same boat, where we're just studying for the sake of studying. And then after that,
Yeah.
we'll see what God has planned for us. I
Yeah.
came across education because I was good at it. And I
Yeah.
grew my business in Australia. So I'm not originally from Australia. I wanted to start fresh because I didn't really want to live in the shadows of my parents. Like, my mom's
Yeah.
a musician and an educator back in Malaysia, where I'm originally from. I wanted
Hmm.
to create my own life rather than someone labeling me as, oh, she's following the footsteps of mom, or she's following the footsteps of dad. So I created my business in Australia as an educator, and then I saw what was needed, hence the books. And it just grew from there. It's me putting myself out there, traveling on my own, being uncomfortable. But I started feeling unfulfilled. So I felt like I've
Hmm.
grown beyond what I was good at. And
Yeah.
the life changing nudge, or rather, I call it a shove, was during COVID, which I think everyone kind of had this aha moment during COVID. So it
Yes,
seems.
for
And
sure.
during COVID, mid COVID actually, I lost my six figures life savings to an online scam. So I was ready
Oh
to
my
retire early as
goodness.
a woman, and I was ready to retire as a single mom, because I've always wanted my own family. And I was single, and but to have a family, that was always the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
So that happened. Six figures gone, because I was going to live off my six figures for a couple of years, and that was gone. And then I came to a realization after 2 weeks of not sleeping that I'm actually blessed. I'm blessed where I have a job, that I have finance, money coming in. I've got businesses as a global business. So it's not that I have no work. It's not like I have no roof over my head. And then all these feelings starts coming back in terms of my past experience, all backtracking to how I grew up. And I thought, I've overcome all these traumas, I've overcome all these challenges that people face. The only difference is I managed to outgrow them. I managed to go beyond it. And the thing is, a lot of women, a lot of people that I come across in my lifetime, every second person that you meet on the street would have some sort of trauma in their life, which we don't really know unless they open up. The
Hmm.
difference between a successful person and a normal person is a successful person steps outside their comfort zone and just, break beyond what they know to reach the success, while the majority are just stuck in their set ways.
I
I
love
want
that.
I
That's
want to
awesome.
become that beacon. So, I've always been speaking on the sideline, besides my teaching, and I want to be
Mhm.
that beacon. I want to help majority of that women come out of the majority. So let me rephrase that. I want to help women to come out of the majority, to be unique, to shine, to be themselves. Because for me, I've learned that anything is possible. Anything is possible if you truly put your mind to it. If you truly set your vision towards what you want to achieve. Because like I'm the product of it, so anything is possible. And yeah, and that's what I want to do. I want to help women overcome their mind. I want to help women build their businesses. I want to help women achieve what they truly deserve for themselves and for their future.
That is exceptional. I'm still stuck on how you just set your mind to overcome, like, I lost the six figures and I'm still going to be okay. I'm still blessed. Oh my god, we all, that's just like mind blown, because you hear so many times of like something tragic happens and it's just, I love how your mindset went to, I'm still blessed. I've overcome something before. I've overcome things before and I can do it again. So that is awesome. Good for
Yeah,
you,
but there's
Lorraine.
there's an abundance of money out there. There's an abundance
That's
of
true.
knowledge out there. If you have no money, you figure out how to earn money. It's not like that's it, you can't earn anything at all. It's so much out there. So to me, when that happens, it's like, why should I be stuck in this rut, being sorry for myself for losing that six figures to an online scam? I mean, that was like a calling from the universe telling me that I was in the wrong path. So I took that as a blessing in a sense.
I like that. I like it a lot. Um, I want to ask you a question, because you talked about working with women and coaching women. I'm just curious, because we all like to, build a sense of community, because we feel like we're on an island on our own a lot of the times. Of all the women that you have talked to, just in different areas in their life where they've achieved a ton of things, or maybe starting out and trying to reach their goals, what percentage of those women would you say have some sense of imposter syndrome, or they feel like they have stage fright or something that's holding them back? Are most of them just, like, hey, I can get out there and do this? Or do you find that the majority of them have a block of some sort that they have to overcome to put themselves out there?
I think that imposter syndrome is everyone has it. It's
Okay.
more of how you overcome it. Like even for myself, people are like, wow, you've done XYZ. You know but in actual fact, it's human to kind of have this thought process of going, oh, it's too much, or something negative that nudges at you
Huh.
at the back of your mind. It's more of how quickly you can shift that, how quickly you can change that thought, or rather catch it before it grows into something that is too large for you to handle. So
Hmm.
initially, it used to take me a couple of weeks to overcome that. And then
Okay.
now it's more of, immediately catching and going, no, stop it. You can do this. You can do this, being your own cheerleader and going, you can do this. Just do it.
I like that. Okay. So everyone's in that same boat, but the difference is the people who can catch it the quickest and
Mm.
turn it around. I like that. Okay. Good deal. So, right now, starting today, if we have someone listening and they're like, yep, that's me, what's the one thing that they can do to help themselves become a better bad thought catcher, so to speak?
Heightening your awareness. So you have to understand how your thought process. You have to listen to yourself. This
Okay.
journey will not be an instantaneous change.
Mm-hmm.
Some people prefer to fast track it by getting a coach to lead them, to guide them, because then you've got someone to kind of point things out to you, and that helps with the awareness. If you want to do it on your own, that's also okay, but it's just that you tend to, because this is a new thing, we tend to not see it as clearly as we would if we have someone that we look up to, if we have a mentor or a coach that can say, oh, this is what's going on, maybe you should change something, or um, it's normal to be that way, but how do we, giving you that skill of how you can develop, grow, and change the way that you think of yourself and think of things around you.
Okay, cool. So I want to bring it back because you said you have a passion for helping women. This is what you want to do, and you feel like this is how you want to make your mark. Tell us about your program. Like, what does it entail? How exactly are you able to help women step into who they are, and who would be an ideal person to sign up for the type of program that you offer?
So my program at the moment is only a one-to-one coaching program, only because
Okay.
I'm still running my teaching business and my workshops internationally, as well as my books around the globe. So at the moment, I'm only offering a few slots at a time where I work on women one-to-one. And my program
Okay.
is between 3 to 6 months, where we dive into the concept of who you want to be as a person, who what your wants is, your goals, creating your goals. We work on how to strengthen your mindset in order to attract what you truly deserve in your life. So it's a process that is going to be an ongoing thing, where it's not like a one-off. Sometimes people run a coaching where it's a one-off thing, but the
Mhm.
3 months and 6 months program is designed where you're accountable with your process of development, and I'm always there for the person. So it's not like I'll see you once a week and that's it. It's more of me always being there to help you out, to encourage you, to kind of guide you through that journey. So in
Okay.
terms of who can join it, anyone can join it if they feel that they are ready. So I know a lot of people need to change their lives. I know a lot of people want to change their lives. It's more of whether or not a person is ready to take that step forward into that journey of changing, because it's going to be an uncomfortable journey, but
Yeah.
that's what happens. In order to receive success, in order to achieve success, you need to take yourself out of your comfort zone.
That is true. Um, and you do have to face, like, are you ready to go, or do you just want to stay comfortable? So, I mean, that takes really just being honest with yourself, like you said, to know if you are ready to move forward. um, so let me ask you this. You mentioned setting goals. We hear all the time about how important it is to set goals. Tell me, what are your thoughts between balancing, like, striving to be a better person and accepting just who you are as a person? Like, where do you strike the balance in that?
I don't like the concept of just accepting yourself. I guess the way that I look at it is we are all perfect in our own way.
Okay.
How the way that we see ourselves as imperfect is more of the concept of how human society have labeled things to be. So, I could see someone and go, "Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous," and someone else would think, "Nah, she's just ordinary." It's just the perspective of one person. So, for myself, I like the concept of always improving yourself, always leveling up, because then it gives you a purpose to move forward rather than being stuck with the concept of I am accepting myself and just comfortable in a sense. So, I always tell my clients, like, you are perfect in your own being. Let's see if we can make yourself, we always strive to do our 100%, our absolute best, and let's see if we can level up to become even better.
Okay. I like that. So we should always be working on something, trying to improve. I got it. I'm taking that in. What what
It's
are
like
some
it's
ways
like
that you say?
saying, would you eat KFC every day, or would you try something different? Because I'm definitely going to be sick of eating KFC every single meal. I
That's
don't know
true.
about a lot of you. But yeah, I
That's
always want to
true.
try something new. I always want to try something to just level up my taste buds.
Okay, I like that, and that's a doable thing. That's something that we can definitely relate to. So cool, good information. I'm thinking about to just kind of how you're on the path to try to get a lot of things done, and we always hear, like, failure is a big part of personal development. So how do you guide people to embrace failure as a part of personal development? Like, how are you going to learn from it? And how do you help them get over that failure so they can still move forward?
Growing up as a musician, growing up with a very strict parents, I always strive for perfection. So I always try to be the perfect daughter, the perfect student, the perfect friend. I always try to have things as perfect as it is. Loving my mom, loving my parents as they are, they only want the best for me. I remember scoring 90% in a test. Like lots of parents would be like, wow, well done, you know? But I remember even the 90% was my parents would be like, why didn't you get 100%? So that whole concept of perfection within myself was really hard on me because then I was always scared of being judged. I was scared of being criticized. I was scared of failing because of that. I had to come to the realization where failure is a failure is a journey, because all the criticism means that it's people consciously or unconsciously telling you how to become better. So it's more of
Okay.
accepting it as it is, and more of kind of shaking off the negative feeling and looking at it in a sense where, all right, how can I improve this? How can I become better? How can I work on this to become, to be able to receive less of a negative feedback than what it is. So it's
Okay.
more of a learning process. It's accepting it, but not holding on to that I think when you feel judged, you feel really heavy, right? So it's more of trying to release that, and then just trying to receive that as more of a learning process. Because if you study all the millionaires and billionaires, they've failed a lot in order for them to reach their success. So if they can do it, why can't we? And it's that thought process. If they can, from a homeless person can be a billionaire, why can't we be on the same boat? If someone can be the prime minister from someone that has nothing, why can't we be the same?
That's true. That's a good point. And a lot of what I hear you saying um, through each of these pieces of advice that you're offering is about the mindset, like how you're thinking about things. It seems to be a common thread. Am I on the same page with you with that? Is that kind of one of the main things that you talk about is having your mindset on how you're going to view things?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the thing is, we are our own engine, we are our own beings. So we are the only persons that can change our life, because we are the engine that runs it. If you don't work on yourself, if you don't make that decision, if you don't think the way that you should, then there's no way you can achieve the success that you want in your life. There's no way that you can make that change, because it's like saying you can't force a horse to drink water, because you have to be that person that makes that move. If you don't change something in your life, be it your environment, be it the way that you think, it's going to hold you back from achieving what you truly deserve. Because to me, every single one of us deserve what we want in our lives, deserves that dream that we envision ourselves as, maybe 6 year olds or 7 year olds, as when we were a child. We are all deserving of what we should get in our life.
Ah, okay. Good stuff. I'm loving this interview. All kinds of good information coming about. Um, how do you help people who are just really fearful about being judged or critiqued when they put themselves out there? Like it's all about, well, I don't want anyone to say this, or I don't know how they're going to take it. What is your what's your advice for handling that?
Something happened there.
Oh no, were you able to hear me?
No.
Sorry, I'll ask the question again. So, for the individuals who deal with fear of being judged as their reason for not wanting to put themselves out there, how do you help them overcome just that fear of being judged by others that's stopping them from reaching their goals?
Right. So we need to understand. the fact that no matter how much we want to please every person, you're going to receive something negative one way or another. There's always going to be a
Okay.
grumpy old person. I label them as grumpy old person because that's the concept. We we label old people as grumpy, right? So
Yeah.
there's always going to be this grumpy person that's going to say something bad about you. So it's accepting that you cannot please everyone. It's a part of
Okay.
growing. It's a part of learning. So it's trying to it's learning how to accept that you're gonna always be judged one way or another. It's human nature, but it's more of how can you shake that energy off. So I was thinking about it like Taylor Swift's song "Shake It
Yeah.
Off." I'm like, girl.
That's cute. Now that'll be stuck in my head.
Yeah, that's
For
right.
sure.
So yeah, it's accepting that you're going to be judged one way or another. It's more of
Okay.
it's more of growing, learning how to detach from that emotion of being down or pulled down by that comment. Because to be successful, you the more successful you are, and this is what I've learned through my years growing as a business owner. To the more successful you are, the more negativity you're going to receive. So the more
Ooh.
you want to grow, the more negativity you're going to receive. The more you are leveling up, the more you are
Hmm.
going to hear it. And if you're a religious person, it's like saying the more the devil wants to test you, because the successful people is the people that can break against the tides. It's more of whether or not you have that urge of going past the current, or you just want to stay put in where you're at.
That's so true, Lorraine. That is very true. I guess just getting to the point like there's really no one that doesn't receive any type of criticism. I mean, people even criticize Mother Teresa, and a lot of times she's put on a pedestal, as doing so much good. So that's true. I guess it's just kind of expecting that some form of negativity is going to come and not letting that be what holds you back. That's a good
So,
perspective.
so I have a dog, and
Uh
the way
huh.
that I look at it is sometimes I cut her fur. I don't send her to the groomers. I cut her fur, and sometimes it's a bit wonky, a bit
Hmm.
lopsided. And the thing is, I look at it from her view. Like she doesn't go, "Oh my gosh, mommy, you cut my hair really, really horribly." She doesn't cry about it, and she's happy. She trips over herself, and she's happy. So the thought process that comes into mind is, why can't we be that way? It's when we receive criticism. I've got friends going, "Oh my gosh, that haircut's really horrible." It's like, but my dog's happy running around the backyard. So why should that negative comment affect us? So like my dog, why it doesn't affect her at all? She's happy,
Yeah.
she's running around, she's being goofy. So why should that affect us? Why can't we just live a life of a, they say, like a life of a dog, where you're happy constantly,
Yeah.
no matter how bad your haircut is.
Absolutely. Well, that's another mindset thing. It's like, what are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the negative comment, or are you going to focus on, hey, you put yourself out there, you got a little bit closer to your goal? So, yeah, for sure. I like that. I hope poor doggy's not running around with a
No,
wonky haircut today.
I've improved. I've improved my grooming skills, but there are times when it looks really horrible. I mean, my standard of horrible, anyway.
That is funny. Okay, so tell us, how are you leveling up, Lorraine? Like, what are some of the things that you do to continue to improve on yourself? Is it reading? Is it podcasts? What's your thing?
Anything and everything. Like I learn from people, actually. Even my clients, they think that I'm coaching them, but it's more of you learn every day. The way that I
Yeah.
look at it, you learn from TV sometimes. You learn from people that you interact with every day. For myself, I like to search around. If there is a good speaker out there, like I came across Bob Proctor when I lost my six figures, and then it's from there, it leads to the next person. Now I'm being mentored by Arash Vasugi. If those of you that know of him, he's one of Bob's protege. And it's more of, for me, it's learning from the best. It's always continuing to learn, it's continuing to develop. But the thing is, it's not just from one person. I can also learn from friends. I learn from colleagues. It's certain aspects of themselves that I pick up. It's like, oh, that's a good idea, that's a good trait,
Yeah.
maybe I should take that for myself. It's not just following one person and trying to become them. It's more of
Hmm.
taking the best traits of every single person and making and creating yourself as an individual, a unique individual. So
Yeah,
yeah, I do read
absolutely.
as well when I can. That's hard, right? Everyone's like, how can you juggle between being an international educator, author, and a speaker and a coach? But yeah, I fit it in as best as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. You are wearing a lot of hats, so I completely understand that. I do like that you said, you are learning from everyone. I tell people all the time, like, you can learn something from everything, every person. And I think when you go into it with that mindset, like, it disarms you. So you're looking for, like, what's the thing I'm going to pick up? What's the thing I'm going to learn? Instead of going in like, oh, there's absolutely nothing I can learn here, then you're missing out because you just put your own blinders on. So I completely get that.
Yeah, because
But
even
yeah,
like the top person, like even Bob himself before he passed, he is still learning. Like he was still learning. There's no one being in the world, in this universe, where they know everything. Life
yeah,
is just going to be purely boring if they did, and then that was it. So,
that's true. That is true. Well, Lorraine, you have given us so many wonderful tips, so much good information tonight. We wrap every episode with these two questions because we want to make sure that our guests leave just a little bit more educated, but we do have a lot of gems from you tonight. So I'll ask you this. What is an unpopular opinion that you have that you can share with us today?
an unpopular opinion that I receive, or
That you have, just basically like something that you think that the majority of people probably would disagree with, like ketchup is terrible. That was probably an unpopular opinion. It's an easy one.
okay. So I've come a lot across a lot. So for me, it's kind of like a whole bag of things that I've heard a lot of people that are not aware of it. A lot of people are not aware that money should not be the goal, because everyone's so fixated about achieving the businesses in life, and I get it. But what I like to always remind my friends for growing up, and clients, is more of doing things from the heart rather than focusing on money. F-
Hmm.
um, don't allow money to control you. Be in control of money. Because I was in the mindset as well where um, things started being really, really heavy for me, heavy feeling for me, because I was so concerned about the financial part that I started losing myself. So
Yeah,
you see a lot of successful people where they come in this kind of roller coaster ride, just because
yeah,
they haven't gotten the whole of their mindset. It's more of the financial part that they look into. So I always remind friends, I always remind clients that always do things from the heart, always do things from in purity, rather than just the vision of, oh, I want to 10x my life, I want to have a seven income figure. It's the thing is, once you get a hold of your mind, the mind is the
mm,
strongest tool. You attract what you deserve. You attract that vibration in your life. Once that is so, be it financial, be it emotional, be it with the person that you want to live with, or the person that you want to have in your life, that is the strongest tool, is to have this, rather than the concept of just the financial part. Because believe me, people don't see this a lot, but believe me, when you see successful people, you see them going around this way
yeah,
rather than this way. So we all should always strive to going upwards. I know sometimes we can go up and downs in our lives, but it's more of the moment we get a hold of our mind, it's going to be much better, smoother flowing, comparatively to being in control, or being having money control us, so to say.
yeah. I love that. I love that for sure. So if you can share one piece of knowledge, advice, encouragement, what's that one thing you would leave us with?
I would advise you, and this is what I tell myself every day, to breathe. To breathe, because a lot of people tend to be so busy and so concerned about certain things that they forget to look within themselves.
Yeah,
So, the main thing you have to try and focus is on yourself. I know we all want to, make the world a better place. We are looking busy looking after our spouses, busy looking after our kids, busy looking after people that we work with, but we always forget to work on ourselves. So
yeah.
spending time for yourself, be it 5 minutes meditating, 5 minutes by yourself. Maybe it's just in the toilet without any phone, just just
Yeah.
have time for yourself in that small space, to just think about yourself, think about your life, just meditate. And yeah, it's more of like a charging, you're charging your battery up in order to function every day. So it's always remember to work on yourself, always remember that you are important to always work on.
Okay, good. I love that advice. All right, so today we can take away that we need to make sure we're breathing, taking care of ourselves. We need to make sure that we are letting our hearts and what we can contribute be the motivator, not necessarily money to what we're doing. And we need to focus on getting a proper mindset. That's going to be a big deal when we're trying to move forward. All kinds of good stuff today. Lorraine, so tell everyone if they want to hear more from you, more of your advice, where can they find you? How can they follow you? Um, Let us know.
So if you're interested in hearing more, if you're interested in learning from me, if you're interested in finding me, you're more than welcome to stalk me on social media. As I say, I'm labeled as the empoweress, and that is my calling in life. It's to help people. So if you want to check me out, you're by all means welcome to search me on Instagram, on Facebook, or if not, you can always Google me online as well. So you can Google the empoweress, or you can always Google my name, so Lorraine Chai. I'm sure there's a lot of similar names in that sense, but you've seen my face. You can see that it's the right person.
Good deal. All right. This is good stuff. Lorraine, we are so excited that we were able to have you here tonight. We will also make sure that we put her information in the notes. We'll also share the name of your books because I don't think we got the name of those. So
So
if our guests want to check those out.
at the moment, my books are for music theory, so they're all educational. I do have
Okay.
one that is coming out in October, so I will be in the US for a TV interview in Dallas, actually. So those of you
Nice.
that are there can always, send me a message. I'm always happy to meet people. But there's a book, collaborative book, that I am doing with a whole bunch of powerful women in the US. It's called Powerful Immigrant Women, and it's going to be launched in October. Hence why me being in the US then. So that's the next book that's coming up. So if you're interested, follow me, and then yeah, I'll send you the details for that to share with y'all.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, Lorraine. We learned so much good information from you. And Hannah's Hive, thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode. We have some great takeaways today. And until next time, when we're able to join with you again, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.
Fate Entertainment. entertainment.